हे हाय नीरज, कैसे हो भाई? हेलो। आवाज आ रही नीरज मेरी? हेलो नीरज, एक सेकंड ना। हेलो। आप म्यूट पे हो नीरज। विल वेट फॉर फ्यू मिनट्स। नीरज मेरी आवाज आ रही है क्या आपको? हेलो।
Yes, yes.
ओके। अरे मुझे लगा मेरी आवाज ही नहीं आ रही तो
No, no. आ रही है।
वेट करते हैं अपन 5 मिनट के लिए तो स्टार्ट कर लेंगे।
Yes, yes, बिल्कुल। अच्छा, एक्चुअली भैया ये पूछना था
हाँ हाँ, पूछिए।
कि अपना ये सेशन कब तक चलेगा?
सेशंस तो नॉर्मली लाइक अभी एक आध ये जेसीएल तो एक शायद 1-2 वीक में और खत्म हो जाएगा।
अच्छा, ये अपना प्रोडक्शन का है ना, माइग्रेशन वाला जीसीएल?
प्रोडक्शन का माइग्रेशन वाला जैसे मतलब
प्रोडक्शन सपोर्ट का है ना, माइग्रेशन जीसीएल, उसी में यूज होता है ना ये वाला?
प्रोडक्शन सपोर्ट का आप किसी प्रोजेक्ट पे काम कर रहे थे अभी?
नहीं, नहीं, मैं तो एकदम फ्रेशर हूँ। मेरे को तो
ओके।
सिर्फ बस
अरे
मेरा
ये क्या
भाई
होता है
है
ना,
ना।
ये जीसीएल अपने को इट इज यूज फॉर रनिंग द प्रोग्राम्स। हे हाय रुचिता। रनिंग जो प्रो अभी आपका भाई शायद अगर माइग्रेशन वाले प्रोजेक्ट में होगा तो वहाँ पे यूज होता होगा, बट नॉर्मली सभी जगह पे मतलब कोई भी कोबॉल रिलेटेड आपको कोड रन करना है तो जेसीएल चाहिए ही चाहिए।
या
ठीक है, 2-4 मिनट रुक लेते हैं। 10:05 को अपन स्टार्ट कर लेंगे। हम्म?
ओके, ओके।
जनता भी उठी नहीं है लगता है।
हेलो अक्षय।
हाँ रुचिता।
हाँ, गुड मॉर्निंग।
गुड मॉर्निंग। जो अपना फ्राइडे का सेशन था वो आपको समझ में आया रुचिता, राइट? जब आप स्टार्ट कर रहे हो जस्ट
हाँ हाँ, थोड़ा बहुत समझ में आ गया है।
कुछ क्वेरीज है तो पूछ लो, उसमें अभी अपने पास टाइम है, कोई अभी ज्वाइन हो रहे
वो
हो।
फर्स्ट सेक्शन अटेंड नहीं किया था ना, इसलिए तो समझ में नहीं आया।
फर्स्ट सेशन मिस किया था, ओके। मैं फर्स्ट सेशन का ना वीडियो डालूंगा यूट्यूब पे। मुझे
ओके ओके,
रिक्रिएट करना
चलेगा।
पड़ेगा। एक्चुअली प्रॉब्लम क्या हुआ है कि समहाउ ऑडियो वाज नॉट रिकॉर्डेड ऑन दैट पर्टिकुलर वीडियो। तो मैं उसको मतलब फिर से ही बनाना पड़ेगा मुझे वो वीडियो। तो मे बी अपन फर्स्ट सेशन फिर से कर लेंगे एक बार। तो जो भी मिस हुए
ओके
थे
ओके।
एंड देन विल एनी हाउ आई हैव टू मेक द वीडियो। सो अपन ज्वाइन कर लेंगे। नॉट ऑल, जिनका हो गया है उनको जरूरत नहीं है, जो अभी नहीं कर पाए उनके लिए फिर से करेंगे, ठीक है।
ओके ओके, चलेगा।
लेकिन ये जॉब कार्ड वगैरह समझ गया है कि अपन जो उस दिन डिस्कस कर रहे थे?
हाँ हाँ, समझ में आया वो जॉब कार्ड वगैरह।
हम्म।
हाँ
अक्षय भाई,
हाँ नीरज भाई।
ये क्या ना, इसमें जीसीएल में जो अपन जब डेटा डाटा शीट बनाते हैं,
हम्म।
उसमें जब जो रिकॉर्ड लेंथ वगैरह होती है, वो चीज समझ में नहीं आया मुझे।
नहीं, वो अभी आज अपन एक्सप्लेन करेंगे ना, उसी चीज पे जाएंगे आज।
अच्छा, अच्छा।
आज अपन किस चीज पे जाएंगे कि पीएस फाइल कैसे क्रिएट करते हैं, पीडीएस फाइल कैसे क्रिएट करते हैं, फिर जो अपन वो सारे पैरामीटर्स देते हैं, स्पेस वगैरह, ये सब क्या है ना। उसी पे जाएंगे अपन आज।
क्या है ना, मैंने थोड़ा बहुत जीसीएल पे मैंने अपने भाई के साथ देखा है, तो बस वही चीज रिकॉर्ड लेंथ वगैरह ही समझ में नहीं आता कुछ भी उसमें।
नहीं, मैं बताता हूँ आपको, आज आज उसी पे सेशन है कि अपन वो जो पैरामीटर्स पीएस और पीडीएस फाइल बनाते कैसे हैं। आपको कोई जेसीएल रन करना है तो उसके लिए सॉर्ट करना है, ये सब चीजें करना है, तो पीएस पीडीएस फाइल बनानी पड़ेगी, राइट। तो हाउ टू क्रिएट दोज पीडीएस फाइल, वो सारे जो पैरामीटर्स है, वो पैरामीटर्स क्या है उसके लिए, तो उसको एक्सप्लेन करेंगे आज अपन। आज उसी पे सेशन है। मैं 2-3 मिनट के लिए रुक लेते हैं, फिर अपन विल स्टार्ट, ओके। You lost your connection. सॉरी, वो मेरा सॉरी मेरा डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया था समहाउ। ठीक है, वेट। Okay, I think now we can start. Okay, let me pull out the PPT. Okay, so in today's session, what we'll do, we'll learn through below points how to create a PS file, okay, how to create a PDS file, DD statement, parameters. So, how how to what are just a second, what all parameters we have in a DD statement, and then what is the meaning of those parameters that we will learn. Then we will learn the one more type of the file, that is a GDG files. Okay, the GDG parameter, and then we'll have some practice examples. Okay, now PS file and PDS file. So basically, let me know first. Do you get the concept
हेलो
of?
अक्षय,
Uh-huh.
आपका वीडियो नहीं चल रही क्या? कुछ भी नहीं दिख रहा।
I'm not sharing my screen. Okay, thanks. Now maybe it will be visible, right? Okay. Now is it visible?
नहीं,
Not yet. I'm sharing my screen. Are you guys able to see the PPT? No.
यस।
Okay. Rushita, are you able to see the PPT?
नो अक्षय,
Okay. Let me stop sharing and then again I will share. Maybe. Okay. You have to pin my my window. Okay. You have to pin my window so that you will be able to see what I'm sharing. Okay. Now, are you able to see?
यस यस,
Okay, good. So this is the today's session agenda. Okay. So normally today we all will deal with the files only. Okay, it is all about the files. Now, okay. First thing, did you guys get the difference between the PS file and PDS file? What is the basic difference between PS file and PDS file? Did, did you guys get that? You guys can ping me, or tell me, like, if you don't or if you have some doubts, then we can again explain what is PS and PDS. Okay. uh, or if you are clear, see, basic difference is ps file is a flat file, pds file is a library. Okay, pds file, I mean, see it as the folder in your desktop. Okay, this folder name is pds, and then there are some files inside it, right? So those called as a ps file. Similarly, pds file is a library, or it is a folder, and then ps file is a different files. Let's say in one folder you have different text files, okay, txt files. So similarly, the library name is PDS, or that in Windows you call it as a folder. Folder name is a somehow you can relate that with a PDS, and then the members inside those um, uh, folder are called as the PS files. Okay. Now let me. Okay, there's some issue with connecting. Okay. Okay, anyways, I have to show this how to log in into the mainframe. So I will take this example. Are you guys able to see my screen, mainframe screen?
Yes.
Okay. Now I will start with how to log in into the mainframe. Okay. Um, I just let me. I wanted to know who all are waiting in the queue. Okay. Um, Let me open the mainframe. So here I have to put log on, then my ID. It will ask me for the password. I will have to put the password here. Once the password is entered, I'm completely inside the mainframe. Okay. You have to press enter to browse through it. Okay. Now this is the ISPF menu panel that we saw earlier, right? Now, okay, come to the main point: PS and PDS. So that day we ran one sort job, right? So in that sort job, we use the PS file to uh, supply the data to as an input to sort to a mainframe. Okay, so okay, let me open this file. I think that was a sort JSON. This is the sort JSON. So this is what we ran that day. So we pass the data to mainframe for processing through this input file, and we sorted records are written to the this output file. So this input and output file call as a PS files. Okay, to pass the data and to write the output. So if you go and see here, how to check the data set in the ISPF panel. You have to put the command start and then option 3.4. Okay, then this window will appear in 3.4. Here you have to press the name of the file that you want to see, and then you want to browse it, or you want to view it, or if you want to edit, you can use the edit e command to edit it. Okay, so this is what we data the data that we pass to mainframe for sorting. Okay, and then after the job completes executes completely, it returns the sorted data into the this output file. Okay, so how I looked at it is start again 3.4, and then if I just view it, so this is okay, this is not the sorted data. Let me recreate it. Some there was some other name that we have given, I guess. I have to come out of the file because I'm using the input file. Okay, there are some data is already created out of it. Okay, it is created. Now if I go and see the output file, data is sorted. right? 1, 10, 20, 50, 60, 123. So the point that I'm explaining here is these files are called as the PS files, where we pass the data and where we write the data. Now this is called as the JCL member. This JCL member is in this PDS. Okay, this is the folder name, or in Windows you will call it as a folder, or in other I think in Linux they call it as a library. So here we call it as a PDS. Okay, so it is similar to a folder. Creating a folder in on a desktop is similar to creating the PDS file on the mainframe. Okay, and inside that we have a different members. We call it as a members. Okay, so this is the one member. This is the one member. Now, so this is called as the PDS. This is your PDS, and then the files that we saw are our PS files. Okay, clear the concept between the PS and PDS. Hello.
Yes, yes, clear.
Okay. So now PS and PDS concept is clear. Now I will tell you how to create those PS files and PDS files. Okay. Uh, and then we'll go to a parameters. As Neeraj, you also asked, right? What is this disk, new catalog? What all these things are. So I will go through it one by one. Um, okay. Now the PS file and PDS file. So you can create a PS files and PDS files using a two options. One, in ISPF panel there is a 3.2 option. Okay, that you can use for creating PS file and PDS file also, and then using a JCL, using some sort JCL, you can create a PS and PDS file both. Okay, so now we'll see how to create a PS files. So for that, you have to go to ISPF menu panel. Okay, then you have to type option three. Option three is for utilities three, and then option two, allocate, rename, delete, catalog, and catalog display the information. So 3.2 is the option. Write it down. Okay, these options: 3.4 to browse the data set, 3.2 to create a new data set. Okay, now here there are different options: allocate new data set, R is for rename the entire data set, D is to delete the data set, C is to catalog the data set, U is for uncataloguing the data set, S is to the short data set information, and V is for the visa utility. So basically what I will start with first option. Okay, A is to allocate data set. Now I need to allocate partition or sequential. Sequential means PS files. S is for sequential, and then uh, PDS is partition data set. There are different partitions into it, right? Different members are there, so it is called as the partition. And then sequential is PS files, or Visam is Visam. I will tell you, okay, the GDG that I will talk about today. So now I have to create a data set, test data set. So I will start with my ID. Okay, this is the naming convention. Okay, it is not like in a txt file you will just write it as a this one, and okay, now this is done. No, you have to write some other qualifiers, next qualifiers, dot, let's say a test dot ps file. Okay, so now I want to allocate this data set. Now this window will come up. Okay, this storage volumes, these all things will be automatically picked, so you don't need to worry about it. What is the thing that you have to worry about it is this directory blocks. See, this thing, three things you have to worry about while creating the dataset using 3.2 option. Okay, the PS file using 3.2 option, these are the basic main things that you have to worry about. This primary allocation, secondary allocation is the allocation of the space to this particular file. So this particular file has to allocate some space. It's not like that whatever the data you will put will be used for that. You have to pre allocate some memory to it. Okay, so this is used by using the primary and secondary, so you don't worry about it. Okay, in normal project environment all these are filled up already, so that is okay. What things you have to worry about? These three parameters: directory blocks, record format, and record length. Okay, now, here it is specifically written as 0 for the sequential data set. That means for PS file it should be 0. And when it is other than 0, that means it is it is a PDS file. Okay, it is not a PS file. It is a PDS file when it is other than 0. Then it comes to a record format. Okay, there are different type of a record format of a file that we will go through some other lecture. Okay, there will be a separate lecture on the formats of the file, how many type of the files we have. Just like in Windows you have a TXT file, Word document, Excel file, right? Different type of the files we have. So similarly in a mainframe we have a different formats of the file. Okay, some are FB files, some are VB files, some are F files, some are V files, and then VBA, FBA. There are different type of the record formats we have, but most commonly used is the FB, fixed block. Okay, so for now, just see it as a record format. We have to put it as a FB. Just for now, at this point, just okay, just keep it as a FB. Don't go into the complexity. What is VB? What is V? What is F? Okay, no. Just for this point, just understand it is FB, and then record length is 80. 80 is like record length is what? How much of what is the length of the file? How much you can go to a write? Okay, just now, just like if you open the TXT file, I will open. Okay. Now see there is I will try to correlate this. So now creating a new notepad, you don't need to allocate the memory, you don't need to allocate what is the record length and everything, right? But because this is a very old system, you have to, while creating a file, you have to write it, uh, what memory you want to allocate to it, then what type of a file it is. Here you will just put a notepad in a search box and then click, and then it will come up with the notepad. But this is not the case in a mainframe. You have to specify few things. Okay, then record format. Okay, this is the, forget about the record format. At this point record format is FB, and then record length is 80. Now what is record length? Now see, if you see here, I can go to a write whatever I want, right? There is no there is no limitation. I can just scroll here at the bottom and then go to a write whatever I want, right? There is no specific limit to it. But this is not the case in a mainframe. In mainframe, you have to define how much length you have to give for the file. Okay, so basically if you want to, and in a simple way, if I want to tell, it is like how much you want to go right, that record length you have to put there. Okay, so let me see here, if you see here line 1 column 7, all the columns are given right here. So similarly, let's say here we go 56, 82, 80. Now this is column 80. So this 80 is related to the record length 80. How much columns are there? This is the 80th column. So this is the 80 is the record length for the file. That means if you create this PS file, you will not be able to go beyond 80, beyond column 80. You have to restrict your data till the column 80. Okay, clear? Eh?
Yes, yes, clear हो गया.
Okay. So this is how it is related to the notepad. Like I have tried to explain you using the notepad so that you will understand better. So there is no limit to go to write in a notepad, but we have to give some limit while creating a PS file in a mainframe. And basically the standard is FB80. Okay. Now we'll go to FB and all these things later in the session or in the next session. Now I have to press enter here. Okay. Invalid combination. Okay. Okay, because I need to do F8, I have given the PDS option here. So I need to remove that because I'm creating a PS file, right? And now I need to press an enter. Okay, the file is created. This file is allocated. You will get the data message like data set is allocated. Now what I will do, I will copy this. How to browse this data set? Can someone tell me who is starting with this? We already go through it 2 3 times. So anyone can explain like what is the option to browse the dataset? Just now I told you, yeah, just write it down in a notepad somewhere. It will be helpful for a new people who want to start their career. Okay, it is option 3.4. So 3 is utilities. Okay, normally just remember 3.4. but 3 again is utilities, and 4 is the DS list, print or display the list. So here we are going to 3.4. Now we will see the data set that we created. This is the PS file that we created, right? Now when we created it, it is a blank, there is a no data inside it. Now let's put the data here. Okay, how I can put, I will just use the edit, and then this is a okay. So know the columns here, there is a command calls. Okay, when you will press calls, all the columns will be there. Now we define the length of it as a 80. So if you see here, let me, let's say we will write a. This is still column 72, and then if I go here till 80, because already these after 72 there are some sequence numbers predefined, I will override it. Okay, I will override it, and then I will write it to the A. Okay, point A. Now see, I cannot go beyond the 80, right? So that's the that is the significance of the record length. So the whatever the record length you have given there, you will not be able to go beyond that. So I will again open the notepad. So here you see that line 1 and then column 80, right? So similarly here you can see that. Okay, columns 9 to 80 means this is the ninth column, this is 80th column. So it is starting from ninth column, it is starting from 80. So it says that. Okay, if I press F10, okay, to browse here and there, you have a scroll here, right? How to go right to this, you will just scroll it in a notepad. So how to go right to a file in a mainframe, you have to press function key F11, you will go right. Okay, let me have some different characters after 72 so that you will understand. Let's say B. Okay, or now let me add some, and then okay. So let's say this is the file now, till 72 column. I can see like from a first column to a 72 column, I am able to see the data. Now I want to go right, just like in a notepad, I go right by using this scrolling option at the bottom, right? So here to scroll to a right, you have to press the function key F11, and when you see the F11, see, uh, just concentrate here. Okay, when I press F11, it will be going right till 80, you are able to see that. So, and to go left, you have to press the F10. So F11 to go right, F10 to go left. Okay, this is how you will scroll uh, right and left. Okay, clear है यहाँ तक?
Yes.
Now everyone knows what is the record length. Yes, I believe. Any questions? Okay, ठीक है. Now, okay, going to now we see how to scroll right and left. We'll see now how to okay. Now I just repeated this data. Now see, let's say if I am uh, creating a PS file here. Okay. Now, if I go down, how you will go down? Again, there will be a scroll at right, and in Notepad, you will go down by scrolling up or down, right? So, similarly, to go to scroll in a PS file, you have to press F8 to go down, and to go up, you have to press F7. These are the line numbers. Okay, first this five, six. You are saying right, the six characters. These are the line numbers are displayed. This is not considered in the file length. Okay, file start from position 1. Then you have to go to a left, right? Only 15 lines you can see in the one in the one display. So if you want to go to scroll down, to scroll down you have to press it as a F8. Okay, To scroll down again, you have to press it as a F8. You can see that 32 to 47 now it is displaying the data. Now again, to go to left, you have to press F8. Sorry, down you have to press F8. Now I am at the bottom of the file. Okay, let me. Okay, I want to go to directly a bottom of the file. So in here directly you can. So if I'm here and I just wanted to go bottom, I will just scroll down. Okay. So here, if you want to go to a bottom of the file, you have to press MF8. Okay, M and then F8. M key and then F8. So it will go to a last line of the file. And again, to go to a top of the file, you have to press MF7. So what are the basic things that we have learned at this point? So what is F10, F11? These are scrolling left and scrolling right, right, left, right. Then F F7 and F8. F7, F8. So this is for top, scrolling up and down. Okay, and then if I again use, I will just if I just put the M here, MF8, MF10, MF11, MF7, MF8. So it will be like extreme left, extreme right. Okay, and then top and bottom. So if you want to go to a top of the file directly, you have to press the MF7. If you want to go to a bottom of the file directly, you have to press the MF8. Okay, clear है? थोड़ा सा मैं I know for who already knows this will be a very basic thing, but let's start from scratch so that everyone will understand that. Okay, now maybe take a photo or capture this. So these are the basic keys that we need to browse the PS files. Okay, to go right, to go left, uh, to go top of the file, to go bottom of the file, to go up and to go down. Okay, so this is how you will browse through a PS file. Clear है ऑप्शन सबको?
Yes.
Okay. Anyone has doubt? No. Right, at this point we are good. So I will now go to a PDS file. Now this is a flat file, you already know. So we see that. Now just like I want to create a folder. Let's say this is my desktop and I want to create a folder. I will go here, I will put a new. Okay, then when you create a new here, when you click a new here, it will ask you, right? You want to create a Microsoft file, Word file, TXT file, or folder, right? So similarly, when you go to a option 3.2 and when you go to a next screen, it will ask you, do you want to create a folder, that means a PDS file, or do you want to create a PS file? PS file is kind of one of these. Okay, so now if you want to create a folder, I will create a folder by using a name as a PDS. Okay, and then inside that I will create a two text files. Let's say sort1, or I will create a similar files that we have, right? Okay, sort1, sort1, and then I will create a new file, not a folder, sorry. So when I go to When I go to this PDS, there are two members, sort 1 and sort 2. Okay, and yes. Sort 1 and sort 2, these are the two members we have. Okay, now let me create a PS file. So similarly, when we go to a desktop, it asks us, right? Do you want to create a new folder or what? So I will go to a 3.2 option. Then again, allocate a new data set. Then again, we will write the name as a my ID is even. Okay. Now it will ask me. Okay, here it is asking you. Basically, imagine it as like it is asking you. Do you want to create a PS file or PDS file? So if I want to create a PS file, so if I want to create a PS file, I should have directory blocks as a 0. If I want to create a PDS file, it should be other than 0. So I will put it as a 10. And then rest of the things would can be same. And then here you have to write a organization name as a PDS. Okay. Rest all things will be auto pre-filled, so you don't need to look at that. So again, these three things are very important. Directory blocks are 10. Okay, it should be other than 0 for PDS file. It should be other than 0 for the PDS file, and then you have to write it as a member as a PDS here, and then you have to press enter. So it created the PS file, sorry, PDS file. Now this is the PDS file. This is the empty folder in our in our okay. Similarly I will put it here. No? Already I did it, but I will just again do it. Folder, and then folder name is similar to what we have clicked. Now this is a empty, right? This folder is empty. So similarly, if I want to browse here, it will say that no members in the data set. Similarly, it is showing here, right? It is saying this folder is empty. It is showing here no member in the data set. Now how I will create a new member here? I will just go to a new, and then I will create a text document. Then I will put a new one, new member, right? New member, or I will name it as a test one. Okay, now I created the member inside it. Now how to create similar thing in a mainframe? I will press a command E here, and then I will in a bracket I will write new one. Okay, and I will press enter. So it will directly open it here, like it doesn't give you this in desktop, like this file is open blank. So similarly here, this file is open blank, so I will put like 1 2 3 4 here. Similarly I will put 1 2 3 4 here. I will go here and save it, right? And I will cut it. Similarly I will go here and save it, and F3. Now I will go back. I will go to a desktop. Okay, so let's see how to browse this. So I will go to ISPF panel, just similar to I came to a desktop. Then I already it is given here, so I will directly click on this. So similarly in mainframe, it is not like a folder. You will not see the folders like there. So what you will put 3.4 option to browse it, and then you will paste the your PDS member here and enter it, and then here you will see. So you will then put the command V and go here and you will browse it. So similarly in desktop you are able to see that this test one. So similarly in mainframe you are able to see the new one here. Okay. Now if you want to go and browse this, you have to put the browse B here, or you want to view it. So it is V here. Okay. And if you want to view here in a desktop, it will like you will just double click it here. So this is how it is I mean related to what we do on a desktop. Okay, but just some different manner. So this is how we create a PDS file into the mainframe. So now I think for the new members who want to start their career, should there should not be any confusion between what is the PDS and what is the PS. Similarly, you don't have any confusion between this folder name and then the text file, right? So similar to it. So while remembering, just remember like this: a folder on a desktop, and then one notepad inside it. So similarly, you have the this is a folder and this is the one file inside it. Okay. So this is how we can create a PS and PDS file using the using your options. Okay, 3.2 option, and then you can browse it using the 3.4 option. Okay. Now this is the thing. Now we will go to a next point. What next we will try to learn? How to create this using JCL. Okay. So now, see, now you will see that now you will understand what is this parameters. Okay, what these parameters? Why we have to give these parameters here? So when you go and create a file using 3.2 in a mainframe, you give this, right. You already give what is the record length, what is the record format, what is the organization it will auto take, but you know. It is PS for PS files and PO for the PDS files. Okay, so we'll go one by one. Just give me a second. Okay. Now, whenever you will create a new file in a mainframe through a JCL, you have to specify these options. Okay, disk equal to space equal to DCB equal to. So now this is called as the DSN name. DSN name is the see again. Now this is the block. Okay, job, EXCC and DD. You know that how these are related. Okay, तो job card को बाद में देखने की जरूरत नहीं. You only need to have the job card written once, and then you can use similar job card for all the JCLs. Okay, so you don't need to now worry about what are these parameters and all. We already learned it. You know basic things about it. That is enough. Okay, just know the basic things what these are. We already learned that in a last session, so that is enough for you. Okay, then this is step one, execc pgm equal to ifbr14. Okay, so this is not the program that I written. This is the predefined program to create a new file. Okay, similarly, like when you create a new here and when you create a text document, so some program is written inside it which will execute to create this text document here, right? So similarly, this is the predefined utility by IBM to create a new data set. Okay, or to delete a data set, or to create a PDS, both files you can create by using this. Okay, so you have to give the step name here, like what is the okay. Now in coming days you will be comfortable with this structure. Now it might be a new for you, like job name and then step name and DD name. Okay, but in coming days you will be comfortable with these things. Okay, so now step name, I will give the name, some name to this step. Let's say step 001. EXEC is the parameter to execute the program. IFBR14 I will execute because I want to create a new PS file. Now what is this? This is the again similarly, this is a for job, this is the job name, right? For EXEC, this is a step, this is a step name. Similarly, this is a DD statement, that means a data set statement, so you have to give the data set name here. So basically this field is uh, used for naming the job exec and dd. Okay, this is using for tagging the name to it. So this is the job statement, I tag the name to it. This is the exec statement, I tag the name to it. So this is the dd statement, I will tag the name to it, dd1. Okay, now all these parameters will come into the picture. What is the DSN? So see, DSN is the DSN name, dataset name, or the PS file name that you want to create. So I will create as a PSZ1. Okay, so this new dataset I want to create. Okay, new file I want to create. So it has to be given like a DSN equal to this one. This is a syntax of specifying the dataset name. Okay, so DSN equal to, then what it will give you the you have to specify here the dataset name that you want to create. then comma. So why this is to for a continuation. You can write this here as well, this equal to new catalog delete, but if you want to write it to the next line, you have to continue the line using this comma. Okay, then you will come to a disposition parameter. So it is used to describe the current status of the data set. Okay, and like you want to create a new data set, or you want to create a modify the old data set. Okay, or you want to write into the see, these are the only there are only three possible values of it. Okay, it should be like new, old, and mod. Okay, these three. Okay, this has to be in this fashion. These three parameters you have to specify: new, catalog, and delete. I will tell you like what this uh, what this statement means. Okay, so basically, if this is like what type of a file you have to create, this tells you about if your step ran successfully, if your job ran successfully, what should we do? If my job ran successfully, I should catalog the file. Catalog is a kind of a old words they are using. You should create that file. I will say like create that file if my job or if my step runs successfully. And what is delete? If my because of some reason my step gets failed. Okay, we call it as a abandoned in the mainframe, or it failed or it abandoned. So in that case, what should we do with this data set? Do we create or not? So you don't need to create, I mean you need to delete it. So that instruction you have to give in the third place. So there are only in a disposition parameter, there are only three places. In a first place, you have to specify you want to either it is a new mod or new mod or old data set. In the second in the second in the second position, you have to write it as a what you want to delete, you want to do after successful submission of the job. You want to create the file, you want to delete the file, you have to keep uncatalog, pass. There are so many other possible values of it we will see. And then there are so many possible values of this that we will also see. Okay, at this point, just remember that we have to uh, in a disposition parameter, this is the short form of the disposition. We have to write a three things separated by comma. First thing tell you about what is your data set, if it is a new, old, or delete. Okay, sorry, new, old, or mod. The second thing tells you about what we have to do after successful completion of this step. Do you want to create this data set, or what you have to do with this data set? So normally it is catalog. That means if my job runs successfully, if that step runs successfully, if this program runs successfully, create the file. And the third things tell you about if this program abandoned because of some reason, or if this program failed because of some reason, what we have to do with this file. So delete the file. Normally it is new, catalog, delete. It is the most commonly used disposition parameter for creating a new file. Okay, now we will go to a one by one. New. What is new? Okay, so new is that the data set should be created. It should not, this data set should not be present already. It is something new that you are creating. So as name suggests, it is a new data set. Okay, if I write it mod here. Okay, or let's start with the old. Now, as name suggests, it is old means the data set is already created. You are not creating a new. You are appending to an existing data set. Okay, so that means this data set is already created, and you have to append to a data set. So let's say, okay, I will give you the examples. Okay, so now I will just have the one step here, and we will create a new. Okay, so now I will go and see if this particular data set is created or not, already there or not. So I will go 3.4 and I will see here. So no, it says that data set name not found. That means it is not created. So what I will do, I will submit this job with a new disposition new. That means it will newly create the data set. Submit the job, is created. Now, if I go and browse it using a 3.4 option, so it will say that yes, data set is already created. Okay. Now, if I want to write to this data set which is already created, I would have to write the mod, sorry, old. Now I will submit the job. So it is submitted successfully. That means that what it is trying to write uh, to an existing data set. Okay, you can use the existing data set for your processing by this, by putting the disposition old here. Okay, now let's say if some data set is not present, PZ2 not present, and I have given the old there. So what will happen? Let me try to browse it first. Okay, I will tell you this data set is not there. Okay, this is not the PZ2. We will start with this one. Okay, this data set is not there. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to use the old with something which is not present. This is not present, and I'm specifying it old. So that means something is mismatched. I will submit the job, and job is given the error, right? It should give the error because this is not the new that, I mean, this is not already present. So you cannot use the old here. You have to use the new here. So if I go and check my school, sd.st to check the school. So this particular job that last I executed is failed. This is the logs where you can see like what your script, what is the written codes of your script. Okay, so this given the JCL error. Now let's see what error it is given. What it is saying, data said this one is not found. You are trying to use old with something which is already not there. So to execute it successfully, I will write it a new here, and then I will submit it. So this time it is completed with maxcc00. That means it is completed successfully. Okay. So this is how this new and old is separated from each other. So I think you should you got these 2 points, right? New and old. Then what is the mod? Okay, why we use the mod? So mod is the mod is something which is used to overcome the issue, right? So when I write something old here, and if I try to create a new file, it is failing, saying that it is not present. So in that case, you can also write mod here. So if what mod will do, mod, if already data set is already created, it will append the data to the existing data set. It will write at the end of the file. But if data set is not present, see this pz3, something new, uh, I'm trying to give the new data set name. Okay, so if I go and try to browse this, no data set name found. Okay, pg3 is a new data set. Now if I use old here, it will fail. It will say that dataset is not present. So if I use new here, it will work because it will say that okay, you are trying to use the new dataset. Now if you don't know this dataset is created or not already, okay, let's say you don't know, like this is something you are not aware ki this data set is created or not. Then now there is a problem. If you use a new and if data set is already created, it will fail. So okay, that step also I will try to execute. This pzs2 is already created, right? So if I try to use the new with it, I am trying to use a new for a data set which is already created, so it is again, it will fail. It will say that how can you use the new for already existing data set, right? So this is given the GCL error. Now imagine a situation where you don't know this data set is created or not. Okay, now if you use new and if that data set was already created, it will fail. If you use old and if that data set was not created, it will again fail. So in that case, you should use mod. So what mod will do? Mod will create a new data set if it is not there. Okay, and it will reuse the existing data set if it is already there. Okay, so pz2 is already there, so I will go and submit it. It will not abate, it will not fail. It is completed successfully, and now I will try to create a new data set with mod. It will again run successfully. It ran successfully and created a new data set. So what is mod? Sorry, what is mod? Mod is the combination of these two. All these two can be achieved by using mod. You can create a new data set also, and you can use the old data set also using mod. Okay, clear है?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, Akshay.
Okay, yeah. Okay, now this second thing. Okay, now as I told you, what to do with after successful submission of this job. So once the job is successfully completed, do you want to create a data set? See, it will call a catalog for creating a new data set. Catalog means, imagine the register where, let's say, uh, in your office or in your college or in your class, you want to, when you want to enter into the class, you will put your name into the register, you will put the time when you are going to it, right? So they call it as a catalog, right? You have an entry in a catalog. So similarly, because this is an old concept, instead of creating something or putting some entry into it, it will they will say it as a catalog. That means create this data set. Okay, now what I will do, what all what all options we have. Okay, we can use here catalog. Okay, this is the syntax. Okay, it is not log, it is lg. Catalog, delete, keep, pass, uncatalog. Okay, now these are the possible options to use in the second field. Okay, now I will not explain about the catalog. Okay, because catalog we already know that if we submitted the job successfully, that file will be created. Now I will try to use the delete here. इंसर्ट बटन कहाँ पे है? ठीक है. Now see, this is already created. This data set is okay. If we go here and try to browse it, it is already there. Okay. Now what I'm trying to do is I will try to run this job with this delete. What does it mean? Okay. Uh, if the job successfully completes, delete the data set. So if I press a submit here and if my job successfully complete, it should delete the data set. This is submitted. This is successfully completed. And now I will try to browse this. What it is saying? No dataset name found. That means what it will do, it will try to see, it will try to you know it is the instruction given to a computer or given to your JCL what to do after successful completion of this step. Okay, if you want to use it, use a catalog here. If you want to delete it, use a delete here. Okay, now this keep, pass and uncatalog. Okay, what is the difference between the uncatalog and delete? It sounds similar, right? Delete it or uncatalog it. That means you can remove the. Okay, imagine it as a uncatalog. Delete means completely removing. Okay, I will tell you something. Okay, uncatalog means what, it will not be physically deleted from the memory. Okay, uncatalog means it will not be, you are not able to you will not be able to browse that data set. See, if something is there, let's say you have the register. Okay, and in a register you have those catalog entries, right? In that catalog you have those entries. So now if that and there is a there is a page number related to it. Okay, now let's say some page is there in your catalog which is not indexed in your uh, index page. Okay, you have not reference to it, there is no reference of that page to in a index. So in that case, that page is physically still there in your notebook, but you are not able to find it, or you will not be able to find it because there is a no indexing done to it, or there is a no catalog, or there is a no identification given to it in a index page where that page is, right? So similarly, catalog uncatalog is, I will basically, these are similar. So uncatalog is, it will not physically delete the data set. Delete is, it will physically delete the data set from the memory. Okay, so delete and uncatalog is the same, but only in uncatalog you will not be able to see the data set even though data set is not physically deleted. In delete, it is kind of a permanent delete. Okay, and it is kind of putting it into the recycle bin. Okay, imagine like that. Now you know about catalog, delete, and uncatalog. Now keep and pass. Uh, See, these are the parameters that we are used for the temporary files. So just like there are PS file, PDS file, GDG files. So there is one concept like a temporary file. So those are used for this one. These parameters are basically used for temporary files. So we will see about it in some other session. Okay. Now you are aware of this, you are aware of this, and you are aware of, okay, the same options can be used in the third place. Okay, this third place also you can use the same options. This will tell you what to do with your data set when your job is abnormally terminated. Abnormally terminated means failed or abandoned. Okay, now what I will do, to explain this, delete function, delete now see, delete, so when if my job is failing, if let's say I'm putting it as a queue. Okay, and now I'm using it here old, even though that data set is new. So if my job fails, it will not, what is the instruction given when my job fails? Delete the data set, do not create it. Okay, so it will not create this when the job is abnormally terminated. Now let me give you some example here. Okay, normally we use it, when while processing some of the data, and some data is, let's say there are 10 records. Okay, and 10 records you are processing one by one. Okay, you process the first record, you process the second record successfully, third record successfully, all 8 records out of 9 are successfully processed, only 10th record is failed. Okay, and because if you return it here delete, that output data set will not create with those 8 records also which are already processed successfully. Okay, so those 8 record will not be written to output file when there is a delete option, because the job terminated abnormally. But if you put a catalog option here, if you press a catalog option here, and then in the imagine a scenario where you have a 9 records, out of that 8 records are processed successfully and it failed for the ninth record, entire step is failed because of the ninth record. Okay, but still those 8 record you will find into the output file, because you have mentioned it as a catalog. Okay, I think time is over for today. So today we went through a DD DSN option, this option, then how to create a PS and PDS using the 3.2 option. Okay, and how to browse the dataset using the 3.4 option. In next session, we will continue with the rest of the parameters remaining from the for the dataset. Then we will see the GDGs. Okay, how what is the GDG concept, and then uh, Actually, I was planning to complete it today, but because of some reason we are not able to complete that. So tomorrow I will go through the GDG concept. Then we'll go to rest of the parameters, GDG concept, and then the temporary files. So these are the basic types of the files: PS file, PDS file, temporary file, and GDG file. So these are the four types mainly used in a mainframe. Only four types of file. Similarly, like in Windows, Microsoft, you have data, I mean text file, Excel file, Word file, PPT, and all those things, right? So similarly, in a mainframe, you have only actually, it is only PS, PDS, and GDG, but temporary file is also concept something we use in our day-to-day JCL. So that is, I will categorize it as a fourth type. So only four type of files are there: PS file, PDS file, GDG files, and temporary files. Okay. So we'll go through rest of the files in the next session. Okay. Any questions, guys, on this then? Okay. Then maybe we can wind up for today. Thank you so much for joining. We'll see you in the next session. Bye.
Thank you.